Hello all my 1000 crazy but sexy cult members out there. Figured I'd make a little movie review, because apparently for some weird reason I'm doing all these reviews of the possibly sickest movies I can ever find. I gotta do something a bit more mellow next time. I don't know, I'm a curious bastard. Trauma. We all have some, probably. I'm pretty sure everyone has some kind of trauma at least, being, I don't know, dropped as a baby, if not nothing else. I mean, every great parent drops a baby at least once, just to check if they can take a bump. My traumas are mostly movie related, ironically, since I'm doing a really sick movie here, but mostly seen two rough movies as a kid. Jaws. I still can't do water levels in games, cause especially if I know there's sharks, fuck those. I ain't going into water. I hate that. I panic. I gotta go away. I ain't watching the screen. I'm walking away from the room and I'm shutting electricity so I don't see anything. I don't want to see my character get eaten by shark. I can do shark movies though pretty good these days, but it's just the games. God damn it, no. I'm guessing because you're kind of playing as characters, or you're kind of in there, so it feels more intense. That's why I really fucking hate water levels with sharks in games. I can't. Even if it's cartoony shark as fuck, no. Still, it's too goddamn scary. That big goddamn fish from Jack and Daxter on PlayStation 1. Actually, PlayStation 2. But still, no. Anyway, the subject of this video, trauma. I had heard little rumblings about this movie, here and there, and everyone said that it's really sick, and I even heard some people mention that it's as bad as a Serbian film. Some people even said that it's worse than a Serbian film, so even though Serbian film was a really tough watch, I can't just believe in people's words. I gotta see that shit myself. Is it really as disturbing as a Serbian film? I don't think so. And after watching this movie, yeah, I was kind of right. Before I start talking about this movie and reviewing the plot and all that shit, let's take a look at this actually pretty kick-ass cover I got from Germany. German Amazon, because they sell some shit there. And this is a media book. I'm just gonna have to cover something here. That's the cover. I'm covering some nipples, because YouTube doesn't like nipples. There's also a ass crack there. That's the cover. I'm actually digging this really much. I think I can show the behind here. There's also ass crack behind here. Screw it. Let's take a risk. There. It's all in Germany, the covers and all that. Let me just turn that. Yeah, the movie is called Trauma, and this is from Chile. That's a place I don't really know much about, except there was a great dictator called Penny Chef. Something like that. Pinochet, penis chef, who cares? Dictators suck usually. But yeah, this was a media book release, and there were actually 3 different types of media books, and well, let's just say it didn't really matter which one I would have gotten. I still would have had to block out something from the front cover, because none of those covers looked YouTube friendly. Now, when you open this, there are 2 discs, and there's also this art book or something, I don't know. Well, the art book also has nipples, so I'm gonna cover those, and here you can see the insides of this, and I really like the style of this and the colors of the black and yellow, and then there's the disc and this kind of art book, I think. It doesn't even come off because this is a media book, so it just stays there. Let's see if there's anything I can show you. Oh, there's nipples. Really brutal pictures. God damn it, nipples. Okay, this one doesn't have nipple. It's all in Germany, so that kind of sucks. I don't understand any German, so I can't really enjoy this in that sense, but well, okay, this shows pretty brutal pictures, but it doesn't show the good part, so it's one of those movies that's not really fun watch. There we have the main villain of the movie and the main villain's son. We'll get to them when I actually start talking about the story of the movie. Screw it, there's not much else. There's also a DVD, because the first disc was Blu-ray. The DVD probably has a cut version, because the Blu-ray version is 1 hour 47 minutes and the DVD version is 1 hour 43 minutes. I think another German no way, it was the Serbian film, and that was Nordic release. That one also had the uncut and cut version, so that's kind of cool they do that, but if I'm ever gonna watch this second time, which I kind of doubt, why would I watch the cut version, censored version? But DVD also has bonus material, so yeah, apparently that's there. I have no idea if it's all in Germany or Chile. Spain, Spanish, whichever it is, it doesn't really help me. The movie did have English subtitles, so that was good, so I understood what was happening there, but yeah. Also, this is a limited edition, 2-disc edition, cover A. There was only 1,000 printed, and I have 491. But yeah, that was the media book. I really do like this. This is really cool. Oh, if you want to see the DVD disc, I'm gonna have to censor some titties, but it's not a nice cover. There you go. Yeah, I'm censoring her fun parts, and all the rest is unfortunately out there for everyone to see. Again, this is the kind of movie that I don't think I can put a lot of clips here, just like A Serbian Film, because it gets pretty damn rough. Basically, the story of the movie, in a nutshell, is that there's 4 girls who decide to take a little trip to some rural areas of Chile, and they go to this big ass house, and I'm guessing the plan is just to have a good time there, you know, drink and dance and do lesbian stuff, because that's what they do in this movie. On the way there, they stop to this restaurant and ask directions, and of course everyone in the restaurant is a fucking creep, so they all know now where they live, and unfortunately one of the people in the restaurant is the main antagonist in this movie. But yeah, he's a crazy bastard. So the girls are having fun, they're dancing and drinking there in the house, and suddenly there's a knock, and it's the main character and his son behind the door, and they really want to get in, so they just open the door and walk in. No, they don't even break in, they just open the door and walk in. And they were really a fan of the one girl who was dancing topless there, so they want a show while they're sitting with the other girls, you know, they just want to have a good time and want to see some classy dancing, topless dancing, so and because she doesn't want to dance, well, they happen to have a gun, so that's usually enough motivation to actually start dancing again, so, or doing whatever stuff, and oh boy do they do whatever stuff. Basically the movie is one of those rape revenge movies, so you know what's gonna happen here, and it's a long scene. It's not even like a regular sexual assault scene, it's if possible it's even worse. I mean, the son is just fucking nuts. I mean, he's doing one of the girls and bites her cheek off, and yeah, it's brutal. I might ask where the movie's name Trauma comes from. Well, we'll have to jump back to the beginning of the movie. You see, the movie actually starts 1978 in Chile, and if you know anything about 1978 in Chile, that was the time when there was a dictatorship. The guy I mentioned here before, Pinochet, Augusto Pinochet, Augustus, something like that. Let's just say he wasn't a fun guy, and some horrible shit happened while he was in power. He was 17 years running that country, from 1973 all the way to 1990. Not that that's actually in any way a necessary knowledge when it comes to this movie. It could have been just any kind of war situation that fucks up the main characters. But the movie starts, it's a room, there's soldiers, there's a guy, and there's a woman. She's kind of sitting down, or, well, not kind of sitting down, I'm not sure if that's like a table that's meant for childbirth or something, because her legs are like this and her stuff is there out in the open. You can't really make out because it's all bloody and shit, so yeah, she's had some rough times. I mean, her face is kind of fucked up, and the down area is even more fucked up. So the guy who's just walking around and talking to her, the guy is her husband. Turns out that the woman was caught with some communist. That's what they said there at the beginning. So yeah, they're having a loving little moment. They're husband and wife, and few soldiers, and then they bring out this young kid, I mean underage. Turns out that young kid is their boy. Great, it's a family gathering now, and oh boy, this movie really starts with a bang. It is really promising start if you're looking for shocking stuff. I mean, if not, then this is a really terrible way to start your movie. The father makes the son have, you know what, with the mom. And the son really doesn't want to do that, so, you know, because, well, who would want to do that? And plus on top of that, the mom is kind of fucked up physically, you know. So they inject something in the son. I think it's some kind of 70s Viagra or something, I don't know. And then they give the son a little hand job, so he gets it up and just starts shoving him to the mom. And after doing that for a while, the dad pulls out a pistol and points it at the mom's head. And while the son is doing his thing, against his will. Dad pulls the trigger and they still won't let the son quit though, so you know, he just keeps on doing it. He also pukes just in case someone loves romantic little details like that. So yeah, that's kind of the start of the movie.
Hagan siempre al tirano temblar. Con que Chile
Now after that we jump into modern day and there's two girls of the four who are going out there in the rural Chilean countryside. They're in a bed, they're listening to music and they're getting it on because they're lesbians and let me tell you, there's some carpet eating and there's some scissoring and only thing that's missing is a huge double-headed dildo pretty much and they don't show it all like, you know, that's like, you know, you just see kind of like head downstairs and shit like that, you know. You do see naked bodies of course, but that's kind of weird scene to pull out after the first scene that just happened. I can tell you, my dick was confused. It didn't know which way to go because that was hot, but the shit before that was not. It's one of the few times I've seen woman on woman action and showing that much and not really get excited about it. I guess I was traumatized too. So where the trauma part comes from, the guy and the son who come in the house later on to do their things to the girls, you know, all kinds of vile things. The father is actually the one who was the son during 1978 and doing the thing to his mom because he was traumatized by all that shit. He's putting his son through all that kind of stuff, but his son is like really into it. He's a fucking psycho. I mean, they do show some scenes from the house where they live. Actually, they have, I'm guessing it's the father's sister, I think. They have her in chains. I got the idea that she was the mom of the son. I don't think they really mentioned that or I missed it. So yeah, real fucking happy family. So anyway, after father and son are done with the girls in the house, next morning one of the girls is kind of trying to escape or just walking, the one who's got her cheek bit off. She grabs the guy's gun and tries to shoot him, but it's empty because it was kind of planned like that, so you know, and then she just kind of walks to the door and puts the gun into her mouth and tries to shoot herself, but it's empty. But they kind of do this actually kind of clever and in somewhat cool ruse where at the moment she presses the trigger, the guy actually shoots her in the back of the head, so the head does explode. Like, it's pretty cool gory scene if you're into gore. So and then the guys just leave the girls. But also on their way home, the father and son go and kidnap the restaurant owner's daughter. So that's when the girls get a brilliant idea of hey, we gotta go rescue that little girl. I get it, it's a little girl, but shit, no, that's basically the whole plot of the movie, and it's one of those movies that's made to be really shocking. From what I've seen from internet, most people don't seem to really like this movie, but some people seem to really love this. Kind of like Serbian Film. It really divides the audience, and there are those who just say this is disgusting and blah blah blah, and so they dismiss it, and then there are those who say, you know, it's as bad as Serbian Film or even worse, and it's better. So of course, me liking Serbian Film, not loving it, but liking, I gave it 7 out of 10, just in case you're curious. I was really interested because I mean I've reviewed Human Centipedes also on this channel. For some weird reason I'm doing all this sick shit here. I gotta do something else next. Yeah, I was really curious because, you know, once you get in those chat forums where people are talking about the most disturbing films, there's always something that kind of piques your interest and you just gotta watch it if you're as crazy fucker like me. But I really have to say this one was a kind of huge disappointment. When it comes to the shock factor, don't get me wrong, that was there. It was disgusting and really hard to watch at times. It is there. I mean, there's even some flashbacks to the past, and back in 1978, the dad of the main villain, there's even one scene where there's like a baby crying, and they don't show anything, but I think the dad's making the son back in 1978 fingered a little. You know, fingers in, and they don't show it, but baby is just crying, and and the fingers are bloody, so I'm guessing that's what happened. Not as effective as newborn porn from Serbian Film, though. I like that. Well, like is kind of wrong word, but I was more impressed by that scene. But this movie basically suffers from, it's got really kind of basic slashery plot, which I'm fine if you're gonna do something, you know, cool with that and stuff like that. But the actors aren't really that great. I mean, all the women in this, they were like kind of dumb slasher film victims more than some heroic good character built stuff or anything like that. Probably my favorite character was the father. I mean, the guy who played him, he seemed like the kind of guy who could play really good serious roles too. Kind of scary. His son, he was somewhat kind of fun too. I know the movie's name is Trauma, and Trauma was kind of the driving factor there. They did try some kind of Archie shots where there's a bird who's just decomposing really fast on screen. Like, you know, I don't know if that symbolizes how trauma eats you up and makes you corrupt. That's kind of how I interpret that scene or those scenes. There were a few times when they showed the bird. I mean, it was a cool idea of it being symbolism for how things decompose and rot and all that. I don't feel like it hit its mark like it could have, and overall this movie felt more like it was just made to shock people and not really put the effort, because in Serbian Film the characters felt like real characters for the most parts. They felt like regular people. So, and the plot in that movie wasn't like your run-of-the-mill slasher film thing, you know. It felt more real because it's, you know, sick porn industry and kind of like that. But here it felt more like a slasher film. They drew in the flashbacks from the main villain, so, you know, they could kind of show where the trauma came and why he's the way he is. But overall, I feel like this movie was just mostly made for the shock factor, and maybe there was some kind of a bigger effort to make it seem like the trauma played part, and it did, but it just didn't really come off from the screen like that. Especially because the girls were just so dumb. I mean, once you actually get to escape, they get this fucking great idea. Let's go save the restaurant owner's little kid. I know it's a little kid, and yeah, that's kind of heroic thing to do, but no real person would do that in that fucking moment. I mean, come on. That's just insane. And once they get to the place where the father and son live, oh my god, first of all, they're horrible shots. The dad, the main villain, he was great shot. But all the other characters in these movies, they couldn't hit a fucking wall if they put the barrel against it. They just came off way too stupid and incompetent. I mean, basically this felt like a slasher film, except they threw in some really sick shit in between, and that's about it. The characters, I didn't really like any of them, so in that sense I was waiting for more, because people said it's worse than A Serbian Film, but yeah, they were actually just talking about the shock factor and not really the story. There were some people who were praising the story like, oh, it shows the trauma and it's so great, but no, I didn't really catch that myself. No, it was all watered down by stupid, incompetent characters. There was just no sense in what they decided to do. That was kind of like I see a bear eating my friend and then I decide to give the bear a blowjob, cause, well, I fucking feel like it. That was like the level of stupidity I felt from these characters. They just, I don't really know what else to say about this. When it comes to shock factor, yeah, it's 10 out of 10. I'm giving it that, 10 out of 10. Overall, when it comes to this movie, I think the score I'm gonna go with is 4 out of 10. Now, like Human Centipede 2 and A Serbian Film, I'm not gonna recommend this to anyone because it is really sick and it's got some really horrible scenes in it. But if you really want to see it, you better be a person who's really into shocking and gory stuff. And if you're one of those, yeah, you're probably gonna find some enjoyment out of this, but it ain't gonna be the story or characters. At least not in my opinion. I didn't really find those in any way relatable or even that likable, which is kind of weird because usually when you throw in two hot women naked doing some carpet eating action and scissoring, yeah, I'm gonna like them, but this movie managed the impossible and I didn't really even like them either. It was just, I mean, I felt bad because that was really horrible stuff that happened to them, but after they escaped and decided to go after the guy, then I was like, well, you get what you deserve. You're fucking idiots. Good riddance, fuck off. I'm just gonna stop this, so fuck off. And I'll fuck off and let's fuck back here when I upload more videos. And 1,000 strong. This cult is growing. Sick bastards. I'm gonna go... Well, I'm not gonna go watch any lesbian porn, because now I'm just gonna think about the fucking scene with the son and mom and dad. And, it's. I think this movie cured my porn addiction. Huh. Well, I'm off to do what other impotent people do. I don't know, play solitaire.